This right here is the absolute best iPhone leather case that you will not buy. Let's talk about it. What's up, people? This your boy Viper, the man about tech, back again for the video. And I can't believe I'm about to say this, but shout out to my good friends over at Spigen for sending over their brand new Enzo genuine leather case for the iPhone 14 series. Now, this case is for the iPhone 14 Pro Max, which is the iPhone that I have. And if you guys remember, a few months ago, I went out and I actually brought the Enzo for the iPhone 13, which is this case right here. So, the first question that we need to entertain is, Viper, are there any differences between the Enzo of earlier this year and the new one that just came out a week or so ago? So, when I reviewed this case a few months ago, my biggest gripe was this thing right here, the decal. And that is because the decal pops out. And the reason why that is not a good look is because when you are putting accessories on the back here, like MagSafe, right? Let's say you have a MagSafe wallet or a MagSafe battery pack. It will not sit flush on the back of the case because the decal popped out and it was interfering with the placement of the MagSafe accessory. So that was one of my biggest gripes from the video that I made a few months ago about this Enzo case. But Spigen listened to us, and they listened because if you look at this new case right here, if you take a close look, you will see that the decal is actually now flush with the case. So it no longer sticks out, which means if you have a MagSafe wallet or a MagSafe battery pack, that means you can put it on here and it will be flushed down flat and not sticking upward because of a popping out decal. Besides that, there's not really any differences really major between the Enzo of earlier this year and the Enzo of last week. They are practically the same case with that same crazy price tag, but we'll get into that in a minute. But let's look around the Enzo case. So if we take a look at the top of the case here, there's nothing there because there's nothing on the iPhone. We turn to the side here, we have the power button right there. Y'all know how it is. Let me see if I can get that in the camera. Yep, got that. Turn to the bottom here, we have the cutout for the speaker grill and the lightning port, of course. Y'all know how we do. And if we turn one more time here, we have cutout, or not cutout, but we have the volume up and down buttons and the cutout for the mute switch as always. But Viper, is it Kevin Costner bodyguard status? You're like, what are you talking about, Viper? What does that mean? That means if I were to lay this phone flat, face down on a flat surface, would the screen be protected by the case? And if we take a close look, if I lay it down flat, boop, yes, indeed, it is Kevin Costner bodyguard status, so your screen will be protected if you lay it flat down. Speaking of protection on the case, if you look at the back here, you also have protection for the camera housing as well. So if you lay it on its back, then the camera lenses will not make contact with the surface that you're laying the phone on. So we also like the protection for the camera as well. It is MagSafe compatible, which means it does support wireless charging and MagSafe charging. So that stuff is definitely on deck. This is Genoma Italian leather, which is one of the reasons why this case retails for $150. However, if you're one of the people like me earlier this year who brought the initial Enzo case, you are now part of Spigen's upgrade program, which means if you are interested in this case, if you brought an iPhone 14, you can save a few bucks off of this by using the code that was provided in the email that you got when you purchased the original Enzo case earlier this year. So that is a nice perk of buying this expensive case. This is a $150 phone case, which has that military grade drop protection up to 4 feet. You also get a lifetime warranty. You get VIP support for a phone case. Oh, Spigen. And you also get to be in that upgrade system, which I was just alluding to. So you get a few extra perks on top of just having the case itself. When I talk about this case, right, I come back to the same thing that I came back to last year. Again, this is a very nice case. This is probably the best leather case I have ever had on any phone, and it holds up well over time. And to highlight that, look at this. I've had this case on my iPhone 13 practically every day since I got it, and it's held up well over the past 6-7 months while I had the iPhone 13 Pro Max. But is it really worth $150 at the end of the day? I cannot recommend this case for $150. Again, this is the best leather case you could buy for any smartphone available, period. It's that good. It holds up well. It feels good in the hand. On the inside of the case, let me take it off and show you guys what you got on the inside of the case. You got a suede material, which means your phone doesn't get scratched up. Look at how nice it is inside. We definitely appreciate this inside material on this Genoma leather. You get the MagSafe ring. You get everything. The case is doing it big. But I'm sorry, there are other leather cases out there for far, far less that will protect your phone just as well, if not even better. So Spigen, I'm telling you the same thing I told you last year. This leather case is at the top of the food chain, but it still costs too much money. I cannot recommend anybody go spend $150 on a phone case that is just a regular phone case. There are no outstanding features besides the leather that make this case any better than the competition out there. Let me know what you think about this case in the comments below. And if you want to check out other cases, bam, video right there.